everyone, I'm Rajeshri. A very warm welcome to you all in today's episode, and a huge thanks for being with me in my new experimental musical journey. Today, we will be paying tribute to a man who is actually a leader of the movement which we have been discussing in my past episodes on the topic of the revival of English traditional folk music. We started this journey holding the hands of none other than Ralph Vaughan Williams, a much loved composer, very talented musician of 20th century. And today's episode is the last episode of that series. Without mentioning Cecil Sharp's great contribution, I thought I wouldn't do justice to this particular topic. Cecil Sharp was a teacher in London in 1903. He came to visit one of his friends who is a vicar in a very pretty hamlet called Hambridge in Somerset. They both were sitting in the garden and watching the gardener, John England, mowing the lawn. Suddenly, Cecil Sharp looked at Charles Mason, his friend, and said, "We might get some songs from him." And he approached the gardener. The gardener sang "The Seeds of Love," one of the sweetest folk tunes of among the folk songs of England. And the virus infected Cecil Sharp and his friend. The epic journey started for next 5 years. They went in many places, in many corners of Somerset and then in England. Then they went to America, and in the Appalachian region, he went and searched for old English ballads. Altogether, Cecil Sharp collected 4,799 songs, which is a big collection. And the most important thing is, without his contribution, we would have forgotten those people who held in their memory the extraordinarily rich folk tunes of the bygone days. So, Cecil Sharp actually approached the ordinary people. He sometimes knocked people's door. He went to the gypsy encampment, and he went to many other places where it was very difficult. They did not accept him so easily. Especially one of the richest sources of his collection is a gypsy lady called Rebecca Holland. Rebecca Holland gave him almost 100 songs, which were beautiful. But Rebecca Holland's husband did not accept a posh English gentleman approaching his wife and listening to the songs and what she can offer. So this journey was very, very difficult at times, and how far his own health is concerned, he was asthmatic. So taking his trusty bicycle and pipe to smoke, he, in spite of all the difficulties in life, he continued this journey. Another lady who contributed heavily in his collection is Louis Hooper. She was a shirt maker in Somerset, and her sister, Lucy White. Sharp took them to fair, Sharp took them to little places because they were very poor and they had kind of a hand-to-mouth existence because the economy went up and down at that time. So, but his single-minded devotion made him approach these people and collect songs and music and beautiful tunes for the young England. Another person, John Short, who is a sailor, and his friend, Yankee Jack. These two people gave him many songs, which are shanties actually. And John Short especially, always liked to sing his songs near the sea. So Cecil Sharp used to sit by the side of John Short for hours together. John Short used to sing the shanties, which was accompanied by the sounds of the waves of the sea, and Cecil Sharp used to jot it down, and then they used to smoke pipes together. So from here he went to the Appalachian region in America, and there also he collected the Irish and Scottish ballads, quite a few of them from the ordinary people, and then he approached the gypsy communities there. One night he was actually sitting in the caravan with a gypsy lady who was singing for him, and it was Christmas time. Suddenly he saw the gypsy lady went deathly white and pale, and he asked what happened. She said that I could hear my husband is approaching and he's going to kill you. So Cecil Sharp jumped down from the caravan and went and actually said Merry Christmas to her husband and said to him that I have got your wife's voice in this box. He showed his phonograph. And the man was so delighted to hear his wife's voice. They became very good friends. So here what I'm trying to say, that though having his private school education, Cecil Sharp was very respectful to these singers, especially the communities like gypsies, because in Edwardian England, the middle class was quite suspicious of these communities. But his affection was so genuine towards the folk tunes and towards the singers that he just went ahead and tried to collect as much he could do before all these songs disappear in oblivion. In order to pay a tribute to Cecil Sharp, I have chosen a song which he had collected in 5 versions. It is called Richard of Taunton Dean, and in another version in Ireland, when it got printed, it was The Last New Year's Eve. It is known as Dumble Deary Dum as well, and it is a very popular ballad, and it was very popular among the broadsides printers. Most probably it was first printed in 1837, but it became like an anthem in Hambridge in Somerset. And I thought that I will play that tune for all of you today. Though it is a song which is melodically very sweet, but textually it is a sad story. It is a story of an unsuccessful courtship by a farmer lad called Richard, who went to ask the hand of the parson's daughter, Jean. But Richard was poor. 9 shillings was not enough for Jean. She needed her silk and satin, and she needed meat. So Richard tried to explain, but it didn't work out. So in the end, Richard gave her a kiss and galloped away. He came in his horse. I'm going to play that tune, and I hope I really enjoyed playing it. You all will join with me, and though it's a melancholic, there is a melancholic aspect to it, but this is all about folk songs. Folk songs are the songs of people's lives, their experience. If a grandma sang a folk song to her granddaughter or grandson, he or she will remember it forever. So it brings back memories. It brings back all the experience. It brings back a life experiences for some people. And Cecil Sharp, in his words, said about folk songs that I believe, quote, so sincerely that the inner beauty and purity of folk music cannot really be contaminated. It must and will always do good wherever it finds a resting place. And just before I go and play, I just wanted to tell you all that he is the one who gave a thematic structure for folk songs, and he divided it into 3 categories. He talked about continuity, selection, and variation. What he meant by continuity? Continuity refers to the songs surviving by being passed on from person to person and down the generation. Coming to selection. Selection refers to the role played by the community in choosing which songs survive. If no one chooses to learn a song, it will not survive. And lastly, it's the variation. Variation highlights the fact that because songs travel informally from singer to singer, changes will always occur, whether consciously or not. And even successive performances by the same singer will never be exactly the same. So he gave us the foundation of folk music before we forgot those singers, those people who actually made the soil of the music of England. Through folk music, we can breathe the beauty of the English countryside. We can breathe the freshness of the morning, and we can enjoy the true music of the folk, of the people. As Louis Armstrong said once, that all music is folk music, because the great composers, if and any composers, when we make music, it's all about people, our people, about folk. With that note, I will play that beautiful tune for all of you. Let us enjoy it together. Thank you very much. Thanks for listening. Richard of Taunton Dean, that they left with a heavy heart. So I end this tune in my own way.